America has a problem.
Respected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. The most neglected person in America is the black woman. That if the white man will do whatever is necessary to see that his woman gets respect and protection, then you and I will never be recognized as men until we stand up like men.
RG3 hosted by your boy and the lovely, amazing, 99-time All-American Grete Griffin.
We're going to hear some commentary from RG3 and his take on what he believes happens between Angel Reese and Kaitln Clark of the WNBA. Let's get into this tea.
Gave you all the examples that she hates Kaitln Clark. It's okay to admit that. That doesn't mean that you're not down for the cause. What cause are we talking about here? I understand that black women are some of the most marginalized of all time. But just because Angel Reese is black doesn't mean that black men and or black women cannot keep it 100 and say what is literally right in front of them, guys. Come on, man. She hates the girl.
So now listening to RG3 and his opinion, I want you to now look at this footage, the best footage that I've seen highlighting this foul that happened between Kaitln Clark and Angel Reese on the basketball court. And I want you to see why Angel Reese is being unfairly targeted.
So lately, it's Angel Reese that's in the headlines. And I did a video yesterday that went sideways. I started out talking about Kaitln Clark and how white people are doing her a disservice. And you know what kind of white people I'm talking about. They are doing her a disservice by trying to make everything that happens between her and Angel Reese into a racial thing.
Describe Angel Reese in one word.
Bitch.
Ghetto.
Bitch. Trash.
Garbage.
Mid.
Two. Brick Barbie.
Ghetto.
Can y'all think of any reason why people would be saying things like this over a 23-year-old? A 23-year-old women's basketball player that they don't even know. And Kaitln Clark fouled Angel Reese. And they call it a hard foul. And Angel Reese reacted the way the average athlete would react when there was an intentional hard foul. So I'm going to let Ryan Clark, and we've met him before on this channel, I'm going to let him talk about what happened.
When you look at the play, which is all we can speak to as professionals, all we can speak to as analysts, Angel Reese pushed one of her teammates. Kaitln Clark had a hard foul, which is part of basketball. I feel like it was assessed correctly. And Angel Reese's reaction is the sort of reaction you get in a situation when you feel like you took an intentionally hard foul. That's competitiveness. That's rivalry. That's not hate. And so now, though, when RG3 jumps on to the hate train or to the angry train, and now follows along with what we saw from Keith Olbermann, what we saw from Dave Portnoy, as they poured on to Angel Reese to make her the villain in Kaitln Clark's heroic or hero story.
Right.
The one thing we know about RG3 is he's not having conversations at his home about what black women have to endure in this country, about what young black women and athletes like Angel Reese have had to deal with being on the opposite side of Kaitln Clark's rise and ascension into stardom. Now, when you look at it, I think A'ja Wilson is the face of the league. Asia Wilson is the best player in the league. Kaitln Clark is the most important player in the WNBA. And a ton of her fandom has come along with some racial bias or some racial pieces to why people love her so much. And so now if you're RG3, when is the last time within your household you've had a conversation about what she's dealing with? You haven't been able to do that because in both of your marriages, you've been married to white women. You haven't had opportunities to have those conversations to educate you on what they're feeling, what Black women deal with, what they're seeing when they think of a young Angel Reese. And the whole time that he's mimicking Angel Reese and bobbing his head and moving his neck while he's doing this whole piece, his wife is in the back amening and clapping. And so to me, it's just another situation that now this young lady has to deal with. When I worked with RG3, he would make all of these sort of corny jokes about milk and how much he loved it and how important it was. And he always points out on social media the color of his wife's skin, as if the color of her skin is what makes her special, as if the color of her skin is what makes her a good wife. I've met the lady, I've had a conversation with her. Right. I think she's more than that. But it also leads to what Black women deal with a lot from Black men who have chose to date or marry outside of their race. They always feel like they have to go the extra mile to prop up the woman that they're married or the woman that they're with over Black women by denigrating Black women. I feel like we should have an opportunity to move past that and understand that Angel Reese can be great in her own right, as Kaitln Clark is as well.
America hates Angel Reese is because that is what they have been ingrained to do. That is what this society here in America has been conditioned to do ever since slavery. It is to make sure that they disrespect the Black woman, to make sure that they feel as if they're putting the Black woman in their place. No way is the Black woman supposed to excel above the white woman. No matter how hard she works, no matter how much perseverance she has to put forth, no matter how high the ladder she has to climb even further than her white counterpart, it does not matter. What matters is that we make sure that we separate the two, because she is to be disrespected and the white woman is to be put on a pedestal. Now, I'm not saying that Kaitln Clark is not talented. She's a superb athlete, as did the gentleman explain. She's one of the most important players for the WNBA. However, Angel Reese is also a very valuable player, and it shows because she's getting endorsements. She's beautiful. She's the one who's being invited to the red carpets. She's the one who's being invited to go and model. She's the one who is pretty much the face of the WNBA and the future. Kaitln Clark is not. And I think that has a lot to do with it as well. So I'd love to hear your opinions. I didn't get too deep on why I thought, Angel Reese is being discriminated against about, from white America, because I think it's pretty much self-explanatory, even by the comments of some of those fangoers that they made. It's self-explanatory that there's just this deep-seated hate that they have towards Black women, period. And unfortunately, Black men like RG3, he's not going to come to the defense of a woman who has had to put in the work, even though he admitted that there are certain elements of racism that she's going to face as a woman of color. But no matter the fact, you're still going to have your wife sitting behind you, okay, promoting this discord that you're continuing on for her community, between a woman that's in your community and her community. And that's a bad example as well, because your daughters are biracial. And so you should be the one talking about unity, not division between two races of people. That's asinine. But again, I'd love to hear your opinions on it, and just let me know what you think. I'll definitely read some of them for sure.